Hey guys, we'll be back into this new video tutorial with OSP Pro. In this video guys, I welcome you guys again back in this video. Now today I'm going to be talking about Python and Flask. I remember making up sometime video back on Python and Flask. I'm just sorry for you guys that have been watching actually my videos. There's little bit of problem that we got on that previous videos. I discovered some guys asked me a question that the thing is not working out. The Python Flask module is not working out on his PC. Actually, there are more than 5 people. Just don't have the internet down here, but I will actually show you their comments. Now, today I'm looking into how I'm going to break this thing down for you. The best way, I think someone can actually run Python with the Flask and build a very good, nice micro framework app or micro framework web-based application using Python with the Flask. I'm just going to break this thing down for you guys so that we can find ourselves a best way to start. Now, the best way to start a Python with Flask is not by just happening to install Python into your system. No. Installing the Flask into your system. When you install Flask into your system, trust me, if you have been having Python and have been programming in Python for some time back, trust me, you're going to get problems in your Python modules. You're going to get problems into your Python the time you're installing the Flask. It will install safely, but the time when you're running and trying to compile the project will bring errors for you. Like for me, I have several versions of Python installed on my PC. I have Anaconda, which obviously the version I have, it happened to have Python 3.5.6 somewhere, and I also happen to have just Python installed in my PC, Python 2.7. I happen to also have Python 3.6. I also happen to have Python 4.7. I use them because of some different modules. There's some modules that tend not to work on some given versions of Python. So I find that if you have only one version of Python, good, it's good for you, but then on the other project, like for my teacher, I train different people, I train different students. So at the end of the day, someone may come up with a different version of Python. So maybe I'm going to install, maybe we are going for deep learning or for machine learning or for artificial intelligence. You'll find that someone using Python 2.7 will not work for you. So I don't have that time again of installing. So I happen to sit down, I install all the modules in my PC, and I happen to program with my people depending on which version of Python they tend to have on their PC. Now let me just make the story short. I'm just going to go straight and I show you straight from Python 2.7. Then I'll also show you in Python 3.6. What we're going to install at the moment, we are going to install something called virtual. How to run Python Flask in virtual format, and it's the best way for you guys who are dealing with the Python with the Flask, dealing with the Python with Dash, using Dash for mobile app for the app development, using Python, using Flask and Django, all those frameworks. You need to happen to have your Python installed in your Flask or the Django or your Dash or Plotly, or if at all you're going to go for data science, it's very good to have them installed in something called virtual format. Install them in virtual format. Now guys, let's just try to see how we can do those things and see ourselves if we can get started. Okay, so hope you guys okay. Now let me just try to see how we can start. Now the first thing I'm going to take you straight through at the moment is to okay, just going to open up my CMD so that we can find ourselves programming now. So let me just open up my CMD here. I'm just going to open up my CMD. So this is my CMD. Good to go. So the first thing I'm going to do in my CMD now here is, the first thing you need to do, if I told you you're on your CMD, just create up a folder. I'm going to create up one folder here down. You're going to see one folder there. So I'm going to create up one working folder where all my projects maybe by default will be in. So that's going to be the first step ever to create up the first working virtual project or a folder. Now maybe before going first to a given folder or before going into a given directory, just try to say, if you just happen to go straight and type virtual from here, oh sorry, let's just take it straight. I hope you guys don't have it yet in your PC, so let us just see how we can install that. I thought you guys were done with that part, but now let's see how we can actually install that into our PC, installing the virtual first. So you just say pip, maybe pip 2 or pip 3. if I might have pip 3, so you can use any pip install virtual for you. So you go so that you can guys be in a platform to program. So you say pip install version. So I already have this installed on my PC, so I don't need to install it again because it works once. You'll find when it's already set up on my PC. So just make sure you have that installed in your PC. So like you can see, mine is already saying the version I have, which is 16.6.0. So I already have that verified in my PC, so I don't need to install that. So the next step now we have to do now on this PC is to actually to have that, maybe to make sure that maybe we have the working folder, I mean a working project folder. So I'm just going to go to the desktop. I always like to work in the desktop because it's very simple to do whatever thing you want. So inside the desktop, I'm going to just make a directory in my desktop, and I'm going to cd to that directory. I'm going to make a directory called web, I'm going to call it web, and I'm going to just say, actually I want to peruse through. I don't have that time. I'm just going to say make from a directory, and also peruse through, take me to that directory so that you can just get started to to program. So cd to that directory, which is called web. So I think it's going to be okay. So you're going to be seeing down here on my PC down here, so that you'll be in a position to have that with you. So I think by now you should have that directory around somewhere there. So you guys, you should be having pop. So I think you guys, you can see the directory here. This is the directory. This is the directory we have, and I think you can see it has nothing to our PC. It has nothing now. So we already gone into our directory, and that's it. So what we're going to do now in this directory is to create a virtualenv. So what I'm trying to say at the moment, we are actually trying to create up the virtual that we are trying to talk about at the moment. So whereby in this time around, I'm just going to say virtual web, so that I can go inside that that directory, and I talk to that given directory, which is going to be called web. So I'm going to talk to web now. So I'm going to just click enter, so that we can have the web part being initiated in our Python module, and having all those Python kind of scripts generated for us, and being ready to deal with it. And then we happen to create up a virtual environment, so that we happen just be in a position to start programming and generating all those Python modules. So let me just try to check back on my PC, and then try to check whether I have where is it? I think this is it. So if I happen to come in here, PC. Wow, so this is it. This is the web. I think you can see here it's even done, and try to generate that. So if I just come back down here, I think you can see it is trying to generate some working project folder. This is the project folder that we are going to be working up with. So it's still generating up that file, it's still downloading up those modules. So let's give it time so that we can finalize that. So it will just tell us, okay, that the thing is done with generating up all those given Python modules, or the Python file that we are looking onto at the moment. So let's just try to wait a bit, and we find ourselves down. So I think you can see now it's just trying to execute that given stuff. My friend, don't forget the version of Python I'm trying to use on this kind of project. I'm actually using Python 777. So if you guys are having Python 3, actually is the best way to talk about to program at this time of 2020. Trust me, you have to be in Python 3, my friend. So I'm using this Python 2.7 just for you guys who might be new to Python, never installed Python. I'm going to put the link in this description, on this video description, so that you guys can actually be in a position to have all those stuff set up in your PC. So now it's just trying to download the modules and the things that will need the wheel, that will be in a position to program without Flask if possible. Remember, at the moment we have not spoken to Python that actually we're going to deal with the Flask. It implies in a simple time you can put any project, you can generate any project. I give assumption you want to deal with the project, like maybe I want to come up with the app, like maybe dash app, I want to come up with a plotty app. And maybe if you've just been using up your project in Python and you try to run them in maybe in Spider or in Jupyter, and then on Notepad, and the thing is not working out for you guys, this is the best way to program. This is the best way to generate up your own entire stuffs, to not having conflicts of IPs of maybe of the ports into your PC. This is the best way to go. So I encourage you guys, make sure you do that in your PC, so that you don't make errors. Don't make errors, guys. Here, this is the best way. Follow it and proceed and master it. Now I'm just going to go straight into my stuff. So I'm going to just say web. I'm inside the web now. So I want actually to go inside the web. Remember, this is the working project folder that we're in. So what I'm going to do at the moment, I'm actually going to go into the web. I'm going No, I'm going to the web now. Trying to tell Python that actually I'm going to the web now. The challenge here, you guys, you're using maybe Linux or whatever. Sorry, I'm using Windows for now, but for you guys, you should find a description. I'm going to give a description in my video so that you can actually find out if you give /. But for you guys who are using Windows, just give / after typing in the web. If you're following me the same way, give a /, and then you just need to go to type scripts. So what I'm trying to give, we want to activate the virtual web that we happen to talk about here up. You get, this is the web we spoke to. So we want to activate it so that actually we're going to be in that environment. So I'm going to just simply say web / script, and then you type something called activate, which is going to be activating for us the environment so that we're going to be in the position to start up the scripting with our Python Flask. So when I hit enter, good God. So when I hit enter, I think you can see now I'm already inside the version now. I'm already now in the version environment. Now my friends who are watching this video, I'm going to call it the first version. So when you want to download, when you want to make any projects, this is the best way to go. Make sure you happen to have your Python inside the version environment. Install the Python into your PC, but whenever you're going to deal up with any project, any work program, or any platform, make sure you're inside a virtual environment. I repeat, I'm a teacher, I'm telling the truth. I've seen many scenarios with guys who comes into me, the thing's not working, the project's not working, the UI is not generating, blah blah is not working. I'm trying to install this, is not coming out, it's giving me this error, it's giving me attribute not error, blah 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 blah. Even yesterday I started some video, and I think I sent it to you guys on YouTube. I will say this is the best way for you guys to go. Now maybe on the other way around, let us just see how we can actually generate some simple basic Flask website. So what you're going to do now at the moment from here is to make sure you happen to have now Flask installed. Remember now, when you just happen to come on down on this project and say maybe I want to talk to Flask, you'll not have it. Why? Because you don't have it installed in that virtual environment. That implies for each virtual project you have its on independent modules installed for it. That's why I like this. It's this continuous process to make the things hard, but it's the best way for your major projects. If you're going to be having projects for different clients, for different customers, for you also as an individual having different projects, it's the best way to go, because every module has got its own version, maybe sometimes of installation, and to avoid conflicts and to avoid having errors in your projects, this is the best way to go. Now the first thing I'm going to do now is to install our Flask if possible. So I'm just going to simply say pip install Flask, so which in this time around I'm going to just install Flask like that. So that's it. So I think I'm going to be in position to have Flask installed in my PC. It's going to generate for me Flask. Now if you take it back again on the other project of ours, I think you can see it's now installing Flask and having Flask generated in our PC, and we're having all those modules picked up and trying to have that stuff organized by the way. Yeah. So don't forget again now, is you're trying to install Flask into a PC. Remember Flask, sorry, I've been using Django sometime back. If you happen maybe to deal with Flask happen to deal with something called WSGI, which is Web Server Gateway Interface. It has all those features. And second, remember it's a microframe, it's a framework which handles and generates for us a website within a just small piece of line of code, and you have all those projects already set for you. And secondly, some of you guys may be about to ask me, do you, when you're dealing with the Django, do you need to have a specific database to deal with? Do I need to deal with the MongoDB? Do I need to deal with the MySQL, Postgres, or which Firebase? Which type of database do I really need to base on with? Now, to make that statement or to make that point clear is that whenever you're dealing up with the Django, whenever you're dealing up with the Flask, you don't need to mind of which database to use. Why? Flask does not have that. It is not specifying which to use. That implies you can use any that you want to deal with in your given project that maybe you want to talk to, that maybe you want to come up with. The one you find it simple for you is the one you go with. And I think if you find my video interesting, please you comment down below, then I happen to see how I can actually make it next time for you. I pick for you one database. I think the most one which is very simple to deal up with is MySQL, because I know most of you guys are coming from PHP background, Ruby background, or all those other parts. So I think it would be very simple for me to come up with one for you guys. Let's just see now. We already have our stuff generated, and that implies the Flask is already installed in our PC. So the next thing is just have the project ready working in our PC. So I'm just going to minimize this project a bit, and then I just go to my PC and then I generate my simple project. So this is some of the projects we're going to come up with. So to make life simple, I'm going to open up here and I say, so I'm using actually Sublime Text Editor. So I'm going to come in here and I open up a folder. So I'm going to generate the other folder. So I'm going to come back in here into my project folder, which is having web. And underneath the web, there's another project called the web. So that's the project folder I want. So I'm just going to click there like that. So I can actually minimize this. So this is the working project folder we need to come up with. So inside here, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to right click and I actually generate a new file. Which new file? I may just call it maybe first web Flask _ web. So that's the project folder we're going to make, and remember it's going to be .py for now. I'm not going to make .php, sorry, I'm going to make it as .py. So I think you can see we already have .py there. Now what we're going to do at the moment, we are now going to be in position to generate up the Flask into our Flourish project. So I'm going to simply say Flask. So I'm going to simply say from Flask, import import the module called the Flask. Don't forget that's a capital letter. Import the module called the Flask like that. So I'm going to just generate that into our PC. The next thing is actually to talk about the app which you're going to come up with, which is going to be taking us to Flask that we already imported. And then here I'm just going to generate up that simple to come up with that magic name, which is going to be name for our case, and then that's good to go. So now next on our part, which we're going to talk now at the moment, is to come up with app.1 known as the root, because we need to know the road or the route whereby the path is going to be talking to, and I think that's done for now. Then on the next part now, we need to define up initial variable, a function that's going to be passing up that kind of unique definition of which is going to be generating us the complete app, where they're going to be generating up the complete the text that we need to be generating into our piece of code. So I'm going to just call it hello for now. Then on the other way around, I'm just going to pass up return, because I need to return up something by the time it's going to be popping up for us. So for now, I'm going to just say maybe hello world. I want to pass it hello world now. There. So if you check right now, our app is done to be generated. We already have our app now. So the next thing is actually to pass also something called the other name that we happen to say into our PC. So this is going to be name. You get? That's name, and then this name is equal to one known as the main, which main is going to be returned also to us. So, but don't forget, this main of ours has to be inside one known as the quotes. Don't forget that. Then the next thing now, we need to return something called how is it going to be passed out? How is it going to be? So we're going to generate the same app which we called from app, and I'm going to say app.run for us now. App.run. So that's done. So I'll say in a simple term, our app is generated. We already have it. Therefore, for simplicity, I can also debug our point or debug. And I say debug is to true. You can use debug or you can ignore debug, because I'm already inside the virtual. I don't need debug. It's not a must that every time for my app to work up well, each time my app to generate for me what I need to debug. But I think I actually have explained to you each piece of line of code that really now have in our piece of in our project now. I think I've generated for you guys that. And now to make life simple, to come up with what I know is going to be good for us all, is to have all those pieces of codes generated. Now the next thing we have to talk about now, remember, this is our line of code, and then now we need now to just come up with and to try to run it. Now don't forget, our working project folder for this PC is just down here. So what I'm going to do now at the moment, I will need now to come up with our piece of line of code, and we generate up all those kind of to pop up or to generate up a new frame. We already have all our stuff set. We did all what's needed. Now the next thing now, if I take it back straight up there as we are finalizing up this video. So this is their project folder. I think you can see our first web generated up here down. So the next thing I'm going to do now at the moment is to make sure that we launch our web into a browser. But don't forget, what we are going to launch is actually not a complete HTML file. We are going to have just simply now what known as to generate up simple text file. Then I'm going to just show you how to edit up that piece of a line of code and even add the CSS if possible, and on the next video, or even if possible in this very video. So let's just see now what we need now next is to we need to have our CD to that given project folder. We need now just to run that point of code. So inside there, I'm just going to simply say Python run for me the project folder. Now don't forget, our project folder is called fast underscore flask underscore web. You get .py. So if this project is okay, it's going to be generating for me the Flask. It's saying that Python can't open file Flask this. Oh, sorry, I have to go to CD to that project folder. I think that's it. Oh, that's it. So I just need now to go there, and then I talk to the project folder because I had not moved. I had not taken myself a step ahead. So I'm not just going to do the same thing. I was going to say Python dash Flask Flask underscore fast Flask underscore web. And don't forget to give the .py extension because it will not actually work out for you if you don't have it. So I think right now, you guys, you can see my fast Flask application is working out. I've shown you all what you guys need in life to come up with. So what I need not to talk about now at the moment is that we need to, there's something I forgot to let you know, but I'm going to talk about it now as I'm finalizing up this part of the video, is that whenever you're dealing up with the Flask, you need to think of one thing, that we need to put one thing in mind. One is that when you're going to launch up Flask in your web browser, we need to just generate one simple thing to put in mind. We need to think about something called the host. What's going to be the host? Now the host by default is actually 127.0.0.1, or in a simple time you can actually call it localhost. Now what's the port number, the port value, or the port? The port is always 5000. Now that's always the port. Whenever it happens to generate something like this to you, just know that's what's going to be popping up in your PC. So I hope that's going to be nice for you guys who are really watching this video. Now on the other next thing that I have to do now is just to go to my browser and enter this lines of code, that which is this one here, is that's this one. So if I just refresh now here the page, we should have the page generated for us, and hope that's going to be good. So I'm going to just wait. It's going to be launching for us, and we see what to do. So wow, it's taking long. It's like last time I just broke the other project. Sorry. So what I'm going to do, just try to see. Oh, that's good. That's good. So it was still launching for us. I think you can see now it has generated for us that simple kind of the page. So I think that's good. Now what I'm going to just do now in the next video, or in this very video still, I'm just going to show that at least we happen to generate that the HTML if possible. So to do that, for simplicity, now what I'm going to just do now for this video, I'm just going to come back down here on our project, and I just generate that simple tab in the form of an HTML like that for now, only for now. But in a simple term, we are going to borrow up something called we shall generate some kind of simple basic. That's it. I think you can see it has refreshed itself, and by the time I click save, it has refreshed itself, and now again it's running again. So I don't need to, what I just need to do is refresh the page so that it generates for me that. So I think you can see now that's part's already launched up. Now what I was trying to say to you guys, in the next video I'm going to be borrowing up an idea of something called there's something called jinja, which we are going to borrow in the next video, so that we don't confuse our style CSS. We happen to add bootstrap within this every page. W3 CSS looks kind of wiki, no. I don't want to disorganize a piece of lines of code. On the next video, I'm just going to find a way how I just generate all those stuff. We have our template file. We put our things on a template file. We generate our our CSS in a separate file. Now those are going to be under styles inside our templates. We're also going to generate the home page, the contacted page. If we need to have all those stuffs, we need to also generate maybe the home page. But all of those ones are inside the templates, which I'm going to show you how do you actually generate up those template files, and how do you come up with them, and how do you come up with all of those simple stuff. Now for now, I hope you guys have seen. If you happen to come back down here on our page and just type one on a style, If you come back in the style, I can say background of our page. But now if I say background like that, so if I say background to be blue, if that's, sorry, let me say green, because you guys may see blue every time. Background to be that, text, maybe text align. Sorry, it's like I made a mistake somewhere. I used the single CSS, meaning single quotes, and yet even on opening I gave single quotes. Let me use double quotes. So this is going to be background to be that, and whereby it's going to be maybe green, like we have said, and then text align to be center. You get. You can also even add padding to our CSS if you want to be maybe of 5 pixels. You get. So if I save that, I think you can find that this thing has already generated itself. That's already generated. So you just need me to refresh the page, and I think you can see the page is now coming up to be that. And if I also happen to come back down here, you can also add one on a color to our page, which maybe is going to be white for now. So if I save that, I think my stuff should be ready right now. So I just need to change that. So my friends, I feel like I really love what we have done today. So if you find this video things interesting, my friend, just make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my channel so that support me for the next video, so that you guys we can actually have another step to go. Yeah. Then on the other way around, guys who are watching from maybe those of you guys who are watching from maybe from my YouTube channel, I think it's going to be a good deal for you guys to make sure you have everything set up for you, so that we can. You guys are watching from my Facebook page, have that set. You guys are watching from my YouTube channel, say that, guys, so that subscribe, subscribe so that we can have all the chance to have it set and you have Python part of you. So guys, nice time for now. Thank you guys for watching. Love you all. Thank you. Nice time.